What up, world? R.I.C.H coming right back at you. Tonight, I gotta talk about something that's been brewing for 30 years. Nas and DJ Premier. Two names that been holding weight longer than some of these young rappers been alive. Two names that represent craftsmanship, originality, creativity. And now, finally, they're dropping their long-awaited joint album. And if you know what that means, you already feel the pressure and the promise.
One of hip-hop's most mythical albums is finally finished. After decades of waiting, Nas has officially confirmed that his collaborative album with the legendary DJ Premier is complete. In a new interview, Nas called the project a long time coming, and he wasn't exaggerating. Rumors about this album have been floating around since the early 2000s. This is the iconic duo that gave us timeless tracks like NY State of Mind and Represent on Illmatic. Nas even revealed that the new project includes material from recording sessions that are over a decade old. We got a first taste earlier this year with the single Define My Name, which dropped as part of Mass Appeal's Legend Has It series. DJ Premier has hinted that the album will stay true to their classic boom-bap sound, full of soulful samples and that raw New York grit. While Nas didn't give an exact release date, the confirmation alone is massive news. For hip-hop purists, this reunion is a dream come true, and following Nas's incredible run with the King's Disease and Magic series, this could be the ultimate gift.
Let's keep it 100. Nas and DJ Premier's relationship goes back to when hip-hop was still using reels, when every beat was built from scratch and every bar had to earn its breath. The first time they linked up was on Illmatic, and that wasn't just a moment, that was history. Premier didn't just produce for Nas, he matched him. Songs like New York State of Mind, Represent, that's not just rap, that's architecture, that's blueprint work. Them tracks sounded like concrete being poured into the speakers, and Nas's voice cut through it like a razor. Premier's style has always been about precision. Every snare sounds like a snapshot from the block. The scratched hooks, the raw samples, he built the whole language out of sound. And Nas was his perfect translator. They were like two sides of the same record, the voice and the vinyl. When they connect, you feel that New York grit without a single gimmick. And that's why this new album got everybody talking, because it's not just two legends dropping music. It's a reunion of principles, lyricism, and craft. The kind of hip-hop that don't care about choice, only impact. Nas said it himself, it's been a long time coming. And you can tell he meant that from a place of legacy, not press release. He even said they went back to some songs they started years ago. So this album ain't just new, it's retrieved history. I think that's what makes this so interesting, because you're hearing the mature version of two men who have mastered their craft. This ain't 94 energy trying to come back. This is 2025 greatness looking back and saying, we still got it. But here's the catch, and let's be honest, the expectations are unreal. Anytime you put Nas and Premier in the same studio, Illmatic is going to be the headline. And that's the impossible standard, because Illmatic ain't just a classic, it's a cultural mirror. That album didn't just define the sound, it defined what perfect meant in rap. And that's the pressure Nas is going to have to wear like a piece of jewelry on this project. He knows the world is going to compare every word to his blueprint. But here's where it gets interesting. Nas went on one of the strongest runs of his career with Hit Boy. Those King's Disease and Magic albums, they proved something. They proved he can still compete, still innovate, and still inspire. So this album ain't about trying to recreate Illmatic. It's about closing the loop on unfinished business. DJ Premier too, he ain't been out the game. He been steady, working with everybody, from J. Cole, Joel Ortiz, to Conway the Machine. But when you say his name next to Nas, you feel something different, because this is the pair that never got to tell their full story. We got a taste of it on New York State of Mind, Represent, Nas's Life, but we never got the full course meal. This new album is the finish line to a race that started 30 years ago. And that's why every fan, including me, is going to be listening like it's Game 7. Let's talk about the sound of it. What do I expect? Sample-based grit, scratched hooks, drums that don't apologize, and Nas going back to that sharpness that made him the benchmark. I expect stories, I expect detail, I expect something that sounds like a mature version of Illmatic. And Premier, he gonna do what he always does. Make beats that feel like memory and moments combined. I wouldn't be surprised if they brought back old samples they couldn't clear back then. Maybe a verse Nas wrote in his 20s, re-recorded now that he's in his 50s. Look, we also got to talk about the risk, because with greatness comes expectation. And sometimes expectation is the enemy of enjoyment. People gonna listen to this album searching for the 90s. But Nas and Premier ain't chasing the past. They trying to update the formula. And if you know music, you know that's even harder. To evolve without losing your original DNA, that's hard. And let's be real, this album ain't for everybody. This ain't for the casual fan who only knows one mic and If I Ruled the World. This is for people who study credits, who know where the hi-hat sample came from. This is for the people who still gotta listen to albums from front to back. Not playlists, not algorithms, albums. And for us, this is the moment we've been waiting for. Now, if you ask me what success looks like for this album, it's not about sales or streams. It's about impact. It's about making something that gets studied 10 years from now. Something that makes new rappers understand why Nas is him. So to Nas and Premier, I say this. The culture is not waiting on the album. The culture is waiting on a masterclass. We don't need you to top Illmatic. We just need you to remind the people why Illmatic was possible. And if you do that, you don't just win. You reignite something the game's been missing. A feeling, a standard, a sound. That's all we want. That's all we need. But hey, that's just my opinion. What's yours? Like, comment, subscribe, establish rich. I'll be back with another one. Peace.